Hello, hi, welcome. MSJVR is my initials, but you can all call me by my nickname, which is Nika. Today, I'm going to be talking about makeup products I am decluttering from my makeup collection. But before we continue, consider subscribing if you like the content and would like to stick around. Anyway, let's get on to the video. Okay guys, so this is a new style video that I haven't done before on this channel. I am actually going to be switching between two cameras. I'm going to be switching from my Panasonic G7 to my Canon M100 because I thought it would be fun to try and incorporate different shot types so you can actually see the products I'm going to be mentioning in today's video, as well as, you know, just play around with tech because I like tech, I love technology and I want to play around with it, so yeah. Additionally, I apologise if the lighting is a bit strange. I know that I am a little bit paler on camera right now, or I look a little bit paler. It's because I am using my ring lights at the moment, as I am filming quite late in the afternoon, so it's already significantly darker than it was a few months ago. So I'm going to be using my ring lights today, and for the next few months I'm going to be using my ring lights. Also, I apologise for the building works in the background. Anyway, opening rant over. Today I'm going to be talking about some makeup products that I have decided to declutter from my makeup collection. The reason being is because I just felt like my makeup collection was getting a little bit big. Also, I realised there's a lot of makeup products that I genuinely just don't use. I genuinely don't find interest in them, or I just don't use them enough to justify keeping them. So yeah, I thought it'd be fun to go through all the different products I have decided to declutter from my makeup collection as of filming this video. So yes, I thought it'd be a fun time to do this. There's quite a few makeup products, so I don't actually know how long this video is going to be. I have a feeling that this one is going to be quite a long one, so go get a cup of tea, go get some food, go get some snacks, get in your pajamas, go and relax, or play around with makeup whilst watching this video, because I have a feeling that this video is going to be quite long, because I am going to go into quite some detail with the products I'm going to be mentioning today. Okay guys, so the first products I want to talk about in my declutter video is primers, foundation and concealer, and here are they all laid out for you. This is all of them that I have decluttered from my collection, and I'm now going to go through as to why I'm decluttering them. So firstly, I want to talk about this, the I Heart Revolution Strawberry Whip Pore Blurring Primer with Vitamin C and E. Well, I don't know how I feel about this primer, honestly. I thought I'd enjoy it, and I love the smell of it. It's got a really, really lovely strawberry scent to it. I mean that's what it's called. It's called Strawberry Whip for a reason. But it's got this gorgeous scent, and it has this kind of like peachy skin tone colour, which then blends out translucent onto the skin. And I just don't know. I really don't know how I feel about this particular primer. It's not my favourite, I'm going to be honest with you. I prefer the Peach Delight Matte Primer. I don't know, I just don't find myself reaching for this primer. I don't really find myself enjoying this primer. In fact, out of all of the pore blurring primers I have tried, this one is the most tolerable one for me. However, I just don't reach for it, and you know, there's no point in me keeping something that I'm not going to reach. Okay, so the next primer is the CYO Matte and Blur Primer, and I love CYO. I'm so sad that they are discontinued, and this primer for them was okay. Like, it's not the worst primer in the world, but it's also not the best primer in the world. Like, I don't know if you can see. It's got this like weird texture, and I just find it so strange. I don't know if you can see that, but it's just a little strange for me. It's very, very silicone-y. This is just not my favourite primer anymore. There's just different ones that I prefer. Also, I don't know if this is going to sound weird, but I hope you heard this like weird sound that I think the product inside this container kind of, it sounded like it congealed and stuck together. So hence why I'm going to declutter it, because I don't think this is in date anymore. The next thing I want to talk about is this e.l.f. Matte Putty Primer, and I just did not get along with this primer at all. It's really unique, and I like the texture of it. I just have a big problem with this particular primer. I do not like how it sits on my nose. The actual product gets into my pores, which I guess for some people that's a good thing, but for me it just really emphasized my texture around my nose. It really emphasized my pores, and I just couldn't get along with it because every time I tried to put foundation on my nose, it would just rub off instantly. It just did not like this primer. And personally, I did not enjoy this primer, so hence why I'm going to be decluttering it today. Okay, so these next few products are some really interesting products that some of you won't really have heard of before. So I have two powder foundations. So this is the Nettson Two-Way Cake Foundation. Yes, this one's in the shade Oriental. And this one is the Herbal Powder Foundation, which is also in the shade Fair Oriental. And as you can see, these are powder foundations which I have panned, which I'm very happy about. Like, I can't believe I actually panned powder foundation. I got these particular powder foundations around about 3 years ago when I visited the Philippines for the first time in 12 years. And I really like these. In particular, I preferred the Nettson one over the Herbal one, only because the Herbal one is just a little bit too light for me. Like, I don't know if you guys can see that. Whilst this one, the Nettson one, I actually prefer way more. It's way more creamy, and also it just gives you really nice coverage. So yeah, I prefer this one over this one. Before I forget, I also want to mention I am a cruelty-free makeup channel. I only purchased from cruelty-free makeup brands and skincare brands, as well as hair care brands. I only ever purchase from cruelty-free brands. So when I bought these foundations, I was not cruelty free. I wasn't buying anything cruelty free at the time when I bought these foundations. So yeah, I bought these foundations and I do not know if these are cruelty free or not. Please someone tell me if they are. But when I bought them back in 2017, it was when I didn't know if a brand was cruelty free. So I thought I'd just mention that out there before anyone asks me any questions. However, I'm also decluttering these particular powder foundations only because I've had these for so long and I don't use powder foundations often. Furthermore, again, they're not cruelty free, or I'm not aware if these brands are cruelty free, so I don't want to keep them in my collection. So I've now got some other face-based products on here to show you. So the first one I want to talk about is this. So this is the Sleek Life Proof Foundation in LP05, and I like this foundation. It's an okay foundation. I like how it's sweat proof. I love how it's oil free. However, I just do not use this. I have so many other foundations that I've been really enjoying and always gravitating towards, and this particular foundation shade, although matches me, I just don't get enough wear out of it, and it's just a shame to keep it in my collection because I just know I'm not going to use it and it's just going to go to waste. So I'm just going to go and declutter this. Okay, so this next foundation again is from CYO. This is their Matte Foundation No Shine Zone, and I really like this foundation. However, my concern of this is it's just too light. It really is just too light for me. Like, I don't know if you guys can see that, but this is the shade 207, and that's just too light for me. I'm so sorry, I'm decluttering this. It is a really good foundation. It's a really good matte foundation. If you can get your hands on it, definitely try to. It's just a shame that this particular brand again is being discontinued. If they weren't, I would probably have tried it in a different shade because I really like how it performs on my skin. I love how it looks on the skin, and it's just a shame that it's just too light and it's discontinued. So goodbye CYO. Okay, so this next foundation is the Gosh Exceptional Wear Foundation. This again is a decent foundation. This one is actually quite good. However, I just don't reach for it. Again, I just really don't. I like the concept of it being, you know, long lasting makeup with anti-pollution properties, but don't use it. Again, I have other foundations I prefer. Also, this is the shade that I have. This is the shade 16 Golden or 16 Golden, and I just don't match this shade. It doesn't match me in any way, shape or form. So yeah, I'm not keeping this foundation because I just don't reach for it, and it's just a shame to keep it and, you know, leave it to waste away in my drawers. So yeah, I'm gonna get rid of you. Again, this is a pretty decent foundation if you can find your proper shade match, but unfortunately I'm going to be discontinuing it from my makeup collection. Okay guys, so the next thing I want to talk about is this concealer that I'm going to be getting rid of. This is the MUA Pro Base Full Coverage Concealer. I actually really love this concealer a lot. Like, I love this concealer. However, the only reason why I'm decluttering it is because it's really old. I took the stopper out, and this is the shade 150. Really close to my actual skin tone, and I love how it looks on the face. However, because it's so old, I am concerned with putting it on my face, so I'm going to be decluttering it because it is old and I'm scared that it might break me out. So yes, hence why I'm going to be decluttering this particular product today. Okay, so I have quite a few bronzers, blush and highlighters and powders that I'm going to be showing you all today that I have decluttered. So I'm going to start off with my powders. So the first powder I'm actually going to be decluttering is this really lovely I Heart Revolution chocolate banana powder, and it looks like this, and it smells divine. Like, it smells so good. Again, it's like a chocolate banana milkshake. It smells amazing. The only reason why I'm decluttering this is because this particular shade of banana powder is for darker skin tones, and I prefer to use the regular banana powder. That one suits me way better, so I'm decluttering this because it just doesn't suit me. No matter how much I love the smell, it just doesn't suit me. Okay, so the other powder that I am decluttering is this one. So this is the Superdrug B baking powder. I really like this powder formula. I really do. I also have it in the shade Translucent. I thought medium might work for me, if I was going to be honest with you. I was hoping it would, you know, because it looks like this. So it doesn't look as yellow as the I Heart Revolution chocolate banana powder. However, for some reason, this actually oxidizes my foundations, so hence why I am going to be giving it away, hopefully either trying to find a new home or resell it. I'm not sure. I really don't know what I'm going to do with it because it's hardly been used. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is bronzers. So let's get me bronzers out here. Okay, so the first bronzer I want to talk about is this one. This is the MUA Bronzed Perfection Matte Bronzer. It's talc free, and I like this a lot. This is in the shade Sunset Tan, and I used to use this a lot. It's such a creamy, like, formula to put onto the skin. Hopefully it'll show up. Yeah, it's not showing up. But this is my problem with this particular bronzer, is it's just so light for me that it just doesn't show up on my face. And it's such a shame because I really like this bronzer formula. You know, I can build it up. I can build up the bronzing color if I wanted to, but I don't know, it's just too much effort for me now, so hence why I'm decluttering it, because it's just too light for me, and it's just a shame. I really did enjoy it when I did use it, and it is a good bronzing powder, and especially if you're a lot paler than me, you will find a lot of love and a lot of use out of this. Okay, so the next bronzer is this. This is also another MUA bronzer, and don't get me wrong, like, I love MUA. I love MUA Cosmetics. There's a reason why I'm decluttering this bronzing powder. So I actually bought this because, you know, it's actually this really beautiful cool tone shade. This particular shade is in the shade Solar 110, and it looks like this. And on my skin it looks a lot more cool toned. So I actually tried to use this as a contour shade instead. However, I now realize that I'm more of a bronzed person. I prefer bronzing over contouring. Also, it has hard pan in the middle slightly. I don't know if you guys can see that on camera. It has hard panned in the middle. So it is really, really hard to get the product onto my face. And I don't know, I just don't contour anymore. I just prefer bronzing, and I just really, really prefer more warmer toned bronzing shades. So unfortunately, I am going to be throwing this one away because I've had this for a long, long time. I don't want to give it to anyone because, you know, it is old. Okay, you guys, so the next thing I want to talk about is this palette. So this is the Revolution Ultra Sculpt and Contour Kit in light to medium CO4. I'm going to say this now. This is not light to medium. This is not light to medium. These two shades are. This one is not light to medium. This is actually a little bit too dark for me to bronze with, so I tend to not use it. The highlighter is phenomenal in this particular palette. Like, look at that, the highlighter. I would love to literally just keep the highlighter if I could. That's the blush, which is more of an orangey highlighter. It's very, very shimmery. It's a very, very shimmery blush, and that's what it looks like. And I just don't get enough use out of this because it's just too dark for me and my skin tone. I actually just use this as an eyeshadow palette where I'd put this on my crease, I would use this all over the lid, and then I'd put this in the inner corner. But I just have other eyeshadow shades and other products that just complete the job for me, and I just prefer them way more. Okay guys, so the next thing I want to talk about is blushes. So this particular blush is the e.l.f. Mellow Mauve blush, and this used to be one of my favourite go-to blushes. It's absolutely gorgeous, the formula is gorgeous. It's just a little bit too light for me now. Before, I quite liked this sort of shade. Again, this is a really, really good blush, it's just I don't get more use out of it, and I prefer other blushes to this one. Okay, so the other blush I want to talk about is this one. This is the Natural Collection blush in Peach Melba. My gosh, this is like a YouTuber classic blush. I liked this blush, and then I decided to put it in a project pan, and then I started to really, really despise this blush because I had to try and finish it. I want to get rid of it. I just want to get rid of it. I just get quite annoyed by it every time I see it now. As you can see, that's what it looks like, and it's a gorgeous blush. But I just feel like I prefer other blush shades. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is highlighters. I'm actually going to be talking about the liquid highlighters first. I'm going to be talking about the rose gold one from Revolution first. This one was actually a freebie, and I kept it because I thought, you know what, I can use it as like a blush topper. Since it's a rose gold shade, I could just put it on top of blush. As you can see, it's a really, really lovely, you know, shimmery shade. Nothing wrong with the formula, it's just more of, I just avoid liquid highlighters in general because I just don't find any enjoyment out of using them. Okay, so the next highlighters I want to talk about is the MUA Light Luster Liquid Highlighters. So I have three. Two of them were from a limited edition collection from the Glow X range, which you can still actually get. They've just repackaged it into their regular light luster packaging. So this is the MUA Light Luster Liquid Highlighter in the shade Sublime. So hopefully I can show you all. And it's an absolutely gorgeous shade. Like, look at it. It's beautiful. Really, really stunning. It's just the wrong tone for me. I can't wear these sorts of shades. Like, I wish I could. And I do like my pink highlighters. Like, don't get me wrong, I love my pink highlighters. It's just, I only own one pink highlighter now, and it's the only pink highlighter that I'm only keeping. And I just don't get to use this. I just don't get enough use out of it. Okay, so this one is the MUA Glow Light Luster in the shade Marvel. This is a too dark highlighter for me. As you can see, it's really, really pinky toned, and it's just too dark for me. Okay, so this is the Glow X Light Luster in the shade Wonder. This one I was actually tempted to keep. I was really, really tempted to keep this one. And then after a few days of decluttering and just, you know, patiently thinking if I've decluttered everything, I then decided to declutter this one as well. So this is what it looks like. It's a gorgeous shade, but again, it's just too pink toned for me. I can't wear these sorts of shades on my face. They just do not complement my skin tone and undertone. Okay guys, so the next thing I want to talk about is these. So these are the powder highlighters that I'm going to be decluttering in today's video. So the first highlight I want to talk about is the MUA Shimmer Highlighting Powder. Again, I love MUA's highlighter formula. I actually have their other highlighter in the shade Peach Diamond, which is my only pink toned highlighter, and I love it to bits. I love that highlighter so much. This one is in the shade Iridescent Gold, and it's gorgeous. It's this beautiful shade. It's just, I don't know, something about it just does not complement my skin tone. I think it's a little bit too light for me, so it just does not work for me. So unfortunately, I'm going to be getting rid of this no matter how much I like this highlighting powder. Okay guys, so these next highlighters are actually from a limited edition I Heart Revolution Heart range, and unfortunately I am going to be decluttering these because I just don't get any use out of these. This one is gorgeous, but it's just too light for me. This one is also gorgeous, but a little bit too light for me. As you can see, I accidentally made a dent in it because I poked my nail into it, so that's a fun thing. And then this one is the Gingerbread Heart, which looks like this, and these particular shades just do not work for me. Okay you guys, so on screen now it's all the eyeshadows that I'm planning to declutter from this collection. I've just realized this is not an eyeshadow palette, so I'll just talk about it now. So this is the Revolution Rose Lights highlighting powder, and it's a gorgeous highlighting powder. As you can see, it's absolutely stunning. It's just that I find that this is a little bit too light for me. They're very, very subtle. I don't know if you guys can see that, but they're very subtle and they are gorgeous. It's just, again, this is too pale for me and my skin tone, and I have other highlighters which I prefer. So I found that this was one of the hardest things for me to do, because genuinely I love switching up my eyeshadow palettes. In general, I just love doing it. I just find so much fun doing those sorts of things, and I found it super difficult to pick and choose which palettes I'm going to be decluttering. And sadly, the eyeshadows that you're all seeing today, I just sadly do not reach for them at all. And sadly, even my randomizer doesn't pick any of these eyeshadow palettes, which is a shame because these are all amazing and lovely eyeshadows. It's just, I feel like, you know, I think it's time to let them go. So the first palette I want to show you is this one. This is the Revolution Reloaded palette in the shade Red Alert. The actual Reloaded formula is really, really good from Revolution Cosmetics. I quite like them as it is. I'll swatch some shades for you now. Let's swatch my favorite ones. This is what they look like, and they're really, really good. They're a really, really good formula. As you can see, they're gorgeous. It's just I don't use this palette a lot. Okay, so this one, this is the MUA 6 shade palette in Rusted Wonders, and this was one of my favorite shimmer palettes ever. I love all the shimmers in this. Like, look at this. It's actually gorgeous. On the eyes, they're just all so stunning colors. Like, look at that. They're just beautiful. The reason why I'm getting rid of it is because this is a very old palette. I don't know if you guys can tell, but this is super old. Hopefully I can show you on camera. There is a bit of pans in there. There's a bit of a dip in some of these shades. Like, there's a lot of dip in some of them, and I am getting rid of this one, unfortunately, because this is old. I have loads of other shimmers in other palettes, a ton of shimmers in, and I just don't gravitate towards shimmer palettes anymore, which is really, really unfortunate. So that's why this has got to go. It also needs to go in the bin because it's so old. So goodbye, my lover. Goodbye, my friend. Okay, so the next eyeshadow palettes I want to talk about is these two. So these ones are my babies, and it's so sad that I am going to be getting rid of these because these are some of my oldest eyeshadow palettes in my collection. So the first one I want to show you is this. So this is the Revolution Reloaded Iconic Vitality palette, and it's so gorgeous. So this is a dupe of the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette, and I love this palette. Like, I really do. I love the formula of these shades, and I love how they perform, and I love using this palette, and I love wearing this palette. When I didn't have many eyeshadow palettes, I literally had this and a couple of others. This was my go-to eyeshadow palette, and I would use these yellowy, orangey toned shades as my eye look, and that is it. But it was one of the hardest decisions to declutter this palette, and the reason being is because I have other palettes with similar shades, and it's just a shame that I am going to get rid of it, but you know, there's no point keeping a palette which is just going to be left there and unused, so goodbye. And also, this is quite old. I actually bought this palette, I think as soon as the Revolution Reloaded range first came out. I got this palette, and this was one of my very first eyeshadow palettes. So this is the next palette I want to show you. So this is the Makeup Obsession Be Obsessed eyeshadow palette, and it's gorgeous as well. And then also, it's just, I don't know, I just feel like I have other palettes with very similar shades. Again, this is a great formula. I love the Makeup Obsession formulas. Like, I think they're really good. I think they're really decent, considering like what, they're £6 for the regular size palettes like these, and then £10 for the big ones. Their formula is really good. It's just, again, it's been a long time since I've reached for this palette. Okay, so the last eyeshadow palette I want to talk about is this beautiful one. Hello, you can see me in the mirror. So this is the Makeup by Tammy Tropical Paradise palette. This is actually her very first eyeshadow palette, and this one I struggled the most to give away, only because I love Tammy. I love her, I love watching her videos, and I love all of her other collections. So it might be time to let it go because I just don't use it enough. I genuinely just do not use it enough to justify keeping it from a great influencer. So instead, I'm actually hoping to give it away to a friend, and I really hope they do accept it because it's such a great formula. Okay everyone, so those are all of the eyeshadows, and I'm now going to go and show you all the lip products I'm going to be decluttering today. So I'm going to go and show you all the lip liners I'm going to declutter first. So these three are from the Revolution Renaissance range. My gosh, does anyone remember the Revolution Renaissance range when they came out with all of these like liquid lipsticks and like lipsticks from the Renaissance range? Like, I like these. These were actually my first 3 lip liners, and I enjoyed using them when I did. But it's just now, because I've bought these like 2.5 years ago or 3 years ago, these are old. These are old, super old. And like, I tried to use them the other day and they just look disgusting. So I'm decluttering them because they're old, not because they're not a great formula. Like, these are an amazing formula. It's just they are old, and I think it's time to give them up because I wouldn't want to be putting this on my lips. So goodbye. So some of these lip liners I am decluttering because they are too light for me. For example, these ones. So this is these are all Revolution lip liners. It's also shimmery, and I get it. Like, I have my moments where I love to wear shimmery lip colors. Shimmery lip liners, not so much. Okay guys, so the next products I'm going to talk about are these ones. So these are the Revolution metallic liquid lipsticks, and this one is in the shade Empress, and this is a gorgeous shade. Like, it's really good, really gorgeous shade. Like, look at that. And then the other one I have from their range is this one. So this is the shade Sovereign, and this is really lovely shade. And the reason why I'm decluttering these particular metallic shades is because I have one from their Revolution Pro line, which is now discontinued, which is this one right here. This is the one that I prefer to use. This is the shade Rags to Riches from the Revolution Pro Supreme Matte Lip Pigment line. Unfortunately, they have discontinued this. The reason why I still have kept these lipsticks is because I collected all the lipstick shades that I liked from this collection, hence why I even have this one. And this is one of the only metallic lipsticks that I will only wear and I will only keep. and I love this one so much. I prefer the formula of these ones way more than the formula of those metallic lipsticks, hence why I'm decluttering them. And I'm keeping this one, by the way. Like, of course, I'm keeping this. This is my baby, so yeah. Okay, so I'm going to keep going with the liquid lipsticks. So this is the Revolution Matte Liquid Lipstick in the shade Icon, and I love this line. I love this formula of lipsticks that Revolution have come out with. The reason why I'm decluttering this is because the shade is just too pink for me, and it's too light for me. It just does not work for my lip color and lip shape. So I decided I'm just going to declutter it because I just don't have any use for it. I don't use it. I don't like the shade. I have other shades from the collection which I prefer, so I'm going to be decluttering it today. Okay, so another lip colour from the same collection, which is the shade White Wedding. I initially wanted to keep this because I have the bullet lipstick version of this shade, which it's a good one. It's just this one again. It's just too pink for me, as you can see, just too pink. Okay, so this one I actually really like. I really like this particular shade. So this is from the B by Superdrug Velvet Matte Liquid Lip line, and this is the shade 1995, and it looks like this. And it's a gorgeous shade. It's just, for some reason when I put it on my lips, it just doesn't look right, and it just doesn't look great on me. And I love the formula, and I love the shade in the Buff from this range. I love wearing that shade, but whenever I wear this one, it's just doesn't work for me, and it doesn't look great on me, and it doesn't make me feel good. So hence why I'm decluttering it, because there's no point in keeping a lipstick shade that I'm just not going to use. Okay, so this is a lip gloss that I'm going to be decluttering. In general, I just do not wear lip glosses, except for today, because I'm actually in the middle of trying to finish up 2 other lip glosses for a different thing, but that's like a future video for a different thing. This is the Glow X MUA Plumping Lip Gloss. It's because I think it's gone off. Because the actual lip gloss has this really strong minty scent, but I think it smells off. Like, it doesn't smell as good as it used to be, hence why I'm decluttering it, because I do not want to put this on my lips. These are all of the bullet lipsticks I want to get rid of, so I'll go with this one first. Okay, so this is the Revolution Renaissance lipstick in the shade Greatest, and I did enjoy this shade. This was one of the few Renaissance lipsticks that I decided to keep, because when I was a lot younger I tried to collect them, and then I only ended up keeping a few. So it's supposedly this like pinky nude shade with a very strong mauve undertone, and it's really lovely. It's just I don't think mauve or purple toned lip colours look good on me. I think it actually washes me out. Okay, so the next lipstick I want to talk about is this one. So this is the MUA Matte Lipstick in the shade Heartfelt. Gorgeous nude shade, as you can see. Like, it's beautiful, and I was willing to keep this. I then tried it on my lips again, literally the other day, and I realised how pale it is. It just did not suit me. It did not suit me. This particular lip colour just did not suit me, and I just don't see myself wearing it anymore. Okay, so these next 2 shades, are from a very old Revolution line. So these are the Revolution Matte lipsticks, I think. Yes, these are the Revolution Matte lipsticks. So this one's in the shade Propaganda. This one's in the shade Red Carpet, and they are both stunning lipsticks, may I add. I love red lipsticks, you guys. I love wearing red. And I know I'm not wearing it today, but in general, I do love wearing red lipstick. I just think it's a gorgeous thing to wear. And these are beautiful. And these are just beautiful. So this one's in the shade Propaganda. And it's this really beautiful deep red shade. And then this one is in the shade Red Carpet. Is it Red Carpet? Red Carpet. It's just I have so many red lipsticks that I just can't use these ones either. I have other red lipsticks that I prefer. If I didn't have many red lipsticks, these would not have left my collection, but because I do, I decided to. But because I do have a lot of red lipsticks, I decided to declutter them, so goodbye. And finally, I have these last two lipsticks from the Revolution Matte range. So, and lastly, I have two lipsticks from the Revolution Matte lipstick range, and I love this formula. I love this formula. I love how it makes my lips look. I just can't wear these two shades. So these two shades, this one's in the shade Glorified, which is this pinky shade, and again, it's so pink, it's so pale, it just does not suit me. And I know, again, on camera it does not look like that, but in real life it does, and I've tried it on my lips and it just does not suit me. And this one is in the shade Chauffeur, and again, it's just a gorgeous nude. Like, it's a really gorgeous nude, as you can see. Gorgeous. It's just too pale. Like, I don't know why I do this for myself. I don't know why I just buy pale lipsticks that just do not work for me. Like, I just don't know why I do that, but I just do. And I realize now that I can't wear those sorts of things. I also wanted to add that these are all of the makeup applicators that I'm going to be removing from my collection. Okay guys, so please don't mind my face right now. I am not wearing makeup apart from my brows, but it's currently 16th of November 2020, if my camera would ever focus. There you go, it's 16th of November, and I am actually editing the video that you are watching right now. It is because I actually changed my mind on a couple of products, and that is because I actually decided to keep some of the products as well as adding different things to the declutter list. Decided to declutter the I Heart Revolution Cranberries and Chocolate palette, and that's only because I just don't get any use out of this. It's a beautiful, gorgeous palette, don't get me wrong, and I love the way that it performs on the eyes, and in general it is just a really lovely palette. It's just these shades are not my shades. The product I decided to keep was this. So this is the Nettson Two-Way Cake powder foundation, and I decided to keep this one because the current powder foundation that I do own, the Revolution Conceal Define powder foundation in the shade F9.5, and the only thing good about this shade is that it matches my undertone, and it looks amazing and it looks great when I mix it with this powder foundation. However, a product that I am going to be discontinuing from my makeup collection is this. So this is the I Heart Revolution Conceal and Hydrate foundation. This one in particular is in the shade F8.5, and I decided that I'm going to be decluttering this one only because F8.5 is so light. I don't know why it's in this section of the Revolution foundation shade ranges, but I have two shades from the Revolution Conceal and Hydrate range, which is F9.5 and F8, and combining those two particular shades together creates my perfect shade match for me. And this is just too light, and I just decided I'm gonna just throw it away because it's old now. I think there's not much left in here, and also, you know, I don't want to be giving it to anyone that's like got half a bottle full of foundation. Also, I've had this in my collection for quite some time, so I'm going to be decluttering it for that reason, as well as it's too light for me, and I've got so many other foundations that I can use to mix in with my Revolution. Anyway, I think I'm going to end this video here because it's almost 8 o'clock and I haven't done a single piece of uni work yet, which is so bad because I have a lot to do for tomorrow. Wish me luck. Don't do what I did. Do as I say, not as I do. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. If you guys did like this video, give it a thumbs up. Comment down below, do you like these declutter videos? Because I'm happy to do more and more, you know, when I feel like it. Also, do you enjoy these sorts of videos? Like, do you enjoy decluttering videos in general? Let me know. And finally, you guys, consider subscribing if you like the content and would like to stick around. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching, and I shall see you in the next video. Bye bye!